Okay, brilliant, brilliant. We will go ahead and start in a little bit. Okay, but first off, you're welcome to tonight's session. My name is Mohammed Suleiman, and I'm super excited to have you here. First off, I want you to confirm that you can hear me loud and clear as before, and then I also want you to let me know where you are joining us from. I am joining in from Lagos, Nigeria. I want you to let me know where you are joining us from. Are you joining from somewhere outside of Nigeria? Are you joining from somewhere within Nigeria? I would love to know. Type it in the chat box. Let us know. Let us know where you are joining us from in the chat box. We're about to learn something fantastic tonight, and I'm super excited that I have been graced with the opportunity to be the one to share that with you. Okay, I can see people joining from Owerri, Lagos, Calabar, Port Harcourt, Edo. You are all welcome, Ibadan. Okay, fantastic one. All right, so what we'll be doing today is very simple. Okay, what we will be doing today is going to be very simple. But again, it's going to be fully packed with information. Okay, and I would want you to, be ready to take in all of the information that will be shared in tonight's session. So I'm going to share my screen to get started. I know we are all in the festivity mode, and we are all getting ready to get back to work tomorrow. But just take tonight to unwind, relax, and get to learn one or two things before getting back to work tomorrow. So in today's session, we're going to be learning how you can 5x your current income by working remotely simply by being a data professional. So let me know. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen. All right, so let me know if you can see my screen. I'm sharing my screen right now, so let me know if you can actually see my screen now. I can see your screen. Fantastic. So what are the things you need to do to earn 5 times more than what you're earning now by being a data professional? And that's exactly what we will be discussing today. And it's also going to be around um, okay, fantastic. It's also going to be around working remotely, how you can work from home. These are jobs that you can actually combine with your current job. But before we go into all of that, okay, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mohammed Suleiman, and I am the COO here at Nebiant Analytics. And I am pushing close to a decade of work experience. And I've been graced with the opportunity to work with top firms across the globe. I've worked with Alfa Romeo, and I did that remotely from Lagos, Nigeria. So speaking about remote jobs, I also have such an experience, and I worked with them as both a data analyst and a data scientist. I've also been opportune to help 3,000 Africans to get skilled in tech. And guess what? I also transitioned into tech myself. So I had a first degree in mechanical engineering, and today I can call myself a successful data professional. Okay. And for those of us joining us for the very first time, okay, those of us joining us for the very first time, Nebiant Analytics is an edtech firm that was created because Africans find it very difficult to get into tech. And what separates our white counterpart from us Africans is that they have access to premium tech training programs. So what Nebiant Analytics seeks to bring to Africans is that we seek to bring premium tech training to Africans. Okay, I can see somebody saying, oh, I'm also a mechanical engineering student. Fantastic, you're welcome. All right. So the key thing is that what exactly is a premium tech training program? Now, a premium tech training program will give you three things. If you're going to go with any training program, if they don't have one of these three things, please do not go near them. Number one is real world case studies. Real world case studies. That's the only way you can get skilled. Okay. That's the only way you can get skill. All right. Number two is soft skill training. Okay, soft skill training. Now, soft skill, these are skills that are beyond your usual technical training. All right, these are skills that you don't get taught in class. Okay, but you still need to get trained in them before you can get into the tech space. And number three is that you must have a lifetime access to your training materials. So if one of these three things are lacking, and you are an African trying to get into tech, you are likely not going to be able to succeed in that. Okay, so you need a training firm that would stand by you till the end. And that's exactly what Neviat Analytics does. And we do that by helping Africans get into tech via three tech career paths: data analytics, data science, as well as business analysis. And you get to work with top experts in the space, carefully handpicked from around of Africa, and they'll be working with you on real world projects, and they are going to be there for you until you finally get into the tech space. Now, for today, we will be going into several things. We'll be talking about how to land high-paying tech roles abroad, which would eventually 5x your income, and you get to work remotely. Number two is that I'll go through our extra layered career support, and that's where it gets interesting. Okay, and some of our success stories. So we have people who have joined us and they've gotten results. So I'll get to talk about some of them, and you get to listen in on them. And at the end of the session, there'll be a special announcement as well as a question and answer session. Okay, so if you want to get my slides as well as the recording of this session, you need to fill out the attendance form. One of my team members will be in the chat box, and they would paste a message containing a link to fill out the attendance form. Do well to click on that link and fill the attendance form. So while we are doing just that, okay, there is a hack I want you to know. Guys, there is a hack I want you to know. Okay, there is a hack that I want you to know, and this is about tech recruiters abroad. Okay, now tech recruiters abroad are looking for cheap labor. They are looking for what we call cheap labor. Now, I want you to take a wild guess. How much do you think is cheap? When I say tech recruiters are looking for cheap labor, what is that figure you think is cheap? I want you to type it in the chat box. Type it in the chat box. Let me see. Type it in the chat box. Let me see. How much do you think, when I say tech recruiters are looking for cheap labor, how much do you think that is? How much do you think that is? 2K, like $20. So don't just say $20. $20 per what? Is it per hour? Is it per month? Is it per year? Let me know. Okay. Some people say 1,200 per month. Somebody said $500 per hour. Wisdom, $500 per hour is not cheap labor. Okay, that is not cheap labor. All right. So okay. So let's go ahead. All right. So now I like the way you guys are thinking. Okay, I like the way you guys are thinking. But let's get into the specifics. Now, let's get into some specifics so that you see where I'm coming from. A tech professional that works abroad, either in the US, UK, Canada, and the likes, they get a take home of around $3,500 on a monthly basis. $3,500 on a monthly basis. Okay, now, but for those that are abroad, especially Africans, and I want you to listen to me very carefully. Most Africans abroad, okay, they work, unfortunately, they work the menial jobs. All right, menial jobs, okay, working factory. And this is no disrespect to Africans abroad who work really hard to make ends meet, but this is the reality that we're speaking here. We are here to tell each other the truth. So in some cases it may sound bitter, but that's the fact. Most Africans are the ones that do the menial job abroad, and they earn something around $950 on a monthly basis. And looking at the standard of living abroad, this just barely takes them through paying their monthly bills. All right, it takes them through paying their monthly bills. Now, guess what? Guess what? Recruiters abroad, recruiters abroad, okay, recruiters abroad, okay, are finding a way to get tech. Now, sorry, if you're raising your hand, please drop your hand. Okay, I'll take questions at the end of my sessions, please. Just write your questions down. Please do not raise your hand. I will take questions later. All right, I will take questions later on, please. Okay, I'll take questions later on, please, guys. All right, so as I was saying, tech recruiters abroad are looking for tech professionals that they can pay salaries which Africans are taking doing the menial jobs abroad. Do you think that's possible? Do you think that's possible? You're looking for a tech professional that will give you the same quality as these tech professionals abroad, but guess what? You want to pay them $950 per month. How do you think that's possible? How do you think that's possible? Now, stay with me. Now, what they are trying to do is to make a connection between this. Ordinary, this is impossible. Okay, this is impossible. But guess what? They make this happen by coming to Africa. So if you are an African living in Africa, listen to me. If you are an African living in Africa, you already have the key to unlocking this opportunity. The only thing remaining is for you to get skilled in a specific career path in tech, and you'll be able to become on the radar of these tech recruiters abroad. Are we together? Are we together? Type yes in the chat box if you are with me. Type a yes in the chat box. I want to see yes flooding in the chat box so that I know that you are with me. Let me know who are the people with me. Type a yes in the chat box. Fantastic. Fantastic one. Great. So tech recruiters abroad are looking for professionals that are situated in Africa because they know that even if $950 per month is what they pay Africans abroad that are doing menial jobs, that kind of salary for an African living in Africa is a fantastic one. Now, I want you to do the mathematics for me. What is $950 per month in Naira? Okay. You can disregard the rates that I have on my screen. It may have updated as of today. So, but what is $950 per month in Naira? Who can help us with that? Who wants to help us with that? Who wants to help us with that? $950 per month. In Naira, who wants to help us out with that figure? Just give us an estimate, okay? Who wants to help us out? $950 per month. Okay, somebody said around 1.5, somebody said around 1.4 M monthly. So, okay, 1.5, 1.4, fantastic. So now I want you to tell me, isn't that a decent salary to earn living in Africa? Even if you say it's 1.2 million because of your the rates that you use, isn't that a decent enough salary to earn on a monthly basis in Africa, working remotely? If you agree with me, guess what? Only top on guys, there are people who earn that in Nigeria, working in Nigeria, and these are top C-level executives at the top of their career, and they earn that kind of money. Okay, and only a few of them are in Nigeria. All right, but you as a young professional, maybe just started or you're fresh out of school, looking for a career to start, why not start earning that kind of a salary instead of waiting till you are like maybe 45 or 50? All right, and this is no disrespect to those that are already of that age. Now, if you are already of that age and you are not earning this kind of salary at the moment, why not, fast track that right now? Okay, fast track that right now to see to it that you start earning what is due to you. All right, that is what you should be thinking about now rather than feeling sorry. All right, so if you've done the mathematics and you've seen that, okay, look, this is what it is. Okay, this is what it is. All right, what is now the way forward? What is the way forward? Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to know, where do you even get these jobs? And you see all of these platforms on my screen. That is where you can get these kind of jobs. Okay, LinkedIn is a platform you cannot overemphasize. I cannot overemphasize how important LinkedIn is. And that's the first one on the top left. That's the first one on the top left. Okay. All right. So that's the first one on the top left. That's the first one on the top left, LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn account as of now, you should be looking at creating one. It's as easy as creating a Facebook account or a WhatsApp account. Okay, it's as easy as creating a Facebook account or a WhatsApp account. So if we have the time, we'll go into it in a little bit, but let's move on. Okay, now, even beyond what you're seeing on my screen, there are more platforms that you can explore these jobs. Okay, so the key thing is, if you're an African and you want to attract the right set of tech recruiters abroad, then there are specific career paths you should be looking at. Okay, you don't just decide you want to get into tech and you don't have a specific career path you are looking at. Very first thing you want to do is to select a career path, and you want to do it carefully. You don't do it haphazardly, else you just is there anybody here that wants to get into tech just simply for the fun of it? Oh, it just sounds cool and you want to get into it, or you want to get into it to make ends meet? What's your situation? Please tell me in the chat box. I want to know, because I've met some people that say, oh, I just want to do it for the fun of it. But with what the economy is saying today, guys, is there anybody that simply wants to get into this for the fun of it? No, you don't want. It's not for the fun of it. Okay, fun and money. Okay, fantastic. That's a good point. But again, if you had to choose one, I'm sure me and you, between ourselves, Uche, we know the one you will choose. If you had to choose between the fun and the money, I know the one you would choose, right? Exactly. If you had to choose one, you won't choose the fun. Okay. So if that's the case, then as an African, And this was the same discussion I had with my mentor back in the days. My mentor told me that, look, if you are trying to get into tech and you are an African, so it means if you are here today in this session and you are not an African, please, this session is not for you. All right. So if you want to get into tech as an African, you need to look at 3 career paths to get a real chance: data analytics, data science, or business analysis. Simply by choosing one of these 3 career paths, you give yourself a realistic chance at getting into tech. So, logical question is why? Okay, why should I choose one of these 3 career paths, right? Why either data analytics? Why those 3? That's the logical question. First reason is they are easy to learn. Regardless of your background, oh, you're a stay-at-home mom, or you currently work 9 to 5, oh, you're fresh out of school, you're a business owner, you have been out of work for like 4 years. Any walk of life you find yourself in, you can pick up the skill and learn it to a point where you can say, look, I know how to do this. Reason number 2 is that it's easy to transition. Okay, it is easy to transition. And when I say easy to transition, because of the rate at which the demand for these career paths is, okay, it is easy to get a job. All right, allow me to show you what it looks like. Give me a second to show you what exactly it looks like. Okay, getting into this career path. All right, allow me to show you what it actually looks like. So give me a second to actually share my screen. Now let's take a quick look at LinkedIn. Okay, now this is me going to LinkedIn. All right, I'm going to LinkedIn to show you. All right. You should be able to hear me now. You should be able to hear me now. You should be able to hear me now. Sorry about that. Sorry for that break in transmission. You should be able to hear me now. Brilliant, brilliant. So we didn't come here to look at my LinkedIn profile. We came here to look for a job, right? So let us search for data analyst, for example. Let us search for data analyst jobs. Okay, data analysts. All right, just data analyst. Okay, data analysts. Now, when you search for data analyst, you want to click on jobs here, jobs right here. Click on jobs, and this would filter to just show you data analyst jobs. Okay, it will filter to show you data analyst jobs. And you want to ensure, now this is practical. So if you've not filled out the attendance form, please fill it out and go back to this video. You can see this particular part, how to look for jobs on LinkedIn. Now, you are in Nigeria or you are somewhere in Africa looking to attract, tech recruiters. Now, if you can't see my screen, please confirm you can see my screen, guys. If you can see my screen, just type I can see your screen so that Jones knows that it's an issue from their end and not mine. Okay, so if you can't see my screen, please check your network or simply leave the session and join back. Okay, you should be able to see my screen after that. All right, brilliant. Thank you very much for the engagement, guys. So let's go ahead. We're getting somewhere. Now, if you are in Africa, somewhere in Africa looking to attract remote jobs abroad, you need to set your location to EMEA. Please don't put Nigeria. Do not put Nigeria. Put EMEA. EMEA simply means Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Okay, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. You can also target remote jobs in North America, but that we'll leave that for another day. But don't let's limit ourselves to Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Now, once you do that and you click search, guys, look at what I have here. If you can squint enough to look at what I have highlighted here, let me see if I can, zoom in a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so that you can see the beauty of my screen. Okay. Now let me see. Let me show you. You can see 13,971 results. Meaning, as of right now, as we are having this conversation, across Europe, Middle East, and Africa, there is a need to employ 13,971 data analysts. I've not talked about business analysts and data scientists, just data analysts alone. 13,971 data analysts are needed. How many are we on this call currently? We are not even up to 300. Meaning, if each and every one of you on this call gets employed, how many will still be left? Within EMEA alone, you still be left with around 13,671 data analysts. If each and every one of us on this call, including myself, gets employed again as data analysts. So such is the demand. And that's why when I say it's easy to transition, yes, I mean it's easy to transition. And guess what? Of course, as established, we are not learning this for the sake of it. So we want to get paid handsomely, right? And guess what? This career path offer fantastic salary projections. So it is a career path that you should be looking to get in for these three reasons. Okay, for these three reasons, you should be looking to get into one of these career paths. Now, we are taking a step, and I'm going to help you take a step today as to what is needed to do to achieve that. But this particular statement is saying that, look, you see that 13,000, let's approximate it to 14,000 because it is 13,971, right? Okay, EMEA simply means Europe, Middle East, and Africa. I mentioned it before. Okay, Benson, probably you missed that. Okay, and you're welcome once again, Benson. I think you're joining our session for like the second or third time, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, Benson. All right. So this is the Future of Jobs report by the World Economic Forum, WEF. So the Future of Jobs reports is something that is a report that comes up every 2 to 3 years, and it has been projected that one of these, these career paths, especially data-centric career paths, are projected to grow by another 30 to 35%, meaning that's demand that I showed you currently. For data analysts alone, we looked at just data analysts. Because of time, I would have showed you business analysts, data scientists. You can do that on your own. The demand is, unbelievable. And they are saying that this demand is likely going to increase by another 30 to 35% heading into 2030. So the question you should be asking yourself right now is, how should I plan to benefit from this juicy information? So I want us to take the first step in that direction tonight. Yeah. So how many of us are interested in knowing the difference between data analytics, data science, and business analysis, so that you can make a choice which one you want to go for. Okay, which one are you most interested in? Which one do you see yourself becoming? Okay, so type, okay, people are even typing. I wanted to tell you to type I am in the chat, but you know what? Some people are already taking the initiative to type that already. Okay, to type that already. And I can see that quite a number of people are already sending me connection requests on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll be super glad to connect with you on LinkedIn. All right. Now, let's look at each of these career paths within the next 20 minutes. Okay, let's look at each of them. Now, the big question is, what exactly is data analyst? What's the job of a data analyst? All right. What's the job of a data analyst? Send me a connection on LinkedIn, Ruth. Okay, I'll be glad to join to connect with you. And I think, Ruth, you're joining us not for the first time also tonight. Okay, so good to have you here once again. All right. So now, what's the job of a data analyst? Okay, I love to call the data analysts the storytellers, and you see the reason why in a little bit. The storyteller. Okay. Now, as a storyteller, okay, what the data analyst does is they go into an organization and tell them what has happened. Okay, what happened. All right. People are asking for my LinkedIn, so let me just quickly drop that. Okay, let me drop that. All right, let me quickly drop my LinkedIn profile so you can easily connect with me. All right, so let me drop that in the chat box so you can connect with me. I'll be happy to connect with each and every one of you. Okay, I'll be happy to connect with each and every one of you. Okay, so you can connect with me via that link I dropped in the chat box. So now let's go to the data analyst. As a data analyst, you are a storyteller. You are employed to tell stories. But you see these stories, you're going to tell the stories using data. So when an organization employs you as a data analyst, they want to know what has happened already based on the data we've collected. And also tell us, why did those things happen? Am I making sense, guys? Am I making sense? You are telling them what happened and why those things happened. So in a nutshell, if you look at the broader aspects of analytics, you'd see that there are four types rather: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. But the job of a data analyst hovers around the first two types of analytics: descriptive and diagnostic. Now, the descriptive analytics is the storytelling of explaining what happened. That's what the descriptive analytics is all about. While the diagnostic analytics is the part where the data analyst explains why those things happened. And you are not going to be doing this simply because of what you think. Okay, guys, please confirm you can hear me clearly. Somebody say my audio is breaking. Just confirm. If you can hear me clearly, just say I can hear you clearly, so that David knows that is a problem from their end and not mine. Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Fantastic. I can. Brilliant. Okay, so David, fix your audio. All right, brilliant one. Now, the descriptive and diagnostic analytics is the job of a data analyst, where the data analyst tells the organization what happened, which is the descriptive analytics, and why those things happened. And you are backing all of these things up with data. Okay, you are backing it up with data. Okay, so if that's the case, that's the job of the data analyst. Now, to become successful as a data analyst, you need to learn quite a number of tools. Okay, and they are Excel, Power BI, SQL, Tableau, Looker Studio, and ChatGPT. If you can learn all of these skills, count yourself a successful data analyst. And one of the things that makes you attractive as a data analyst to tech recruiters abroad is this. You see the three tools that I circled down here: Power BI, Tableau, Power BI, Tableau, and Local Studio. These tools are used for business intelligence, for automating reports, for designing, fantastic, um, for designing fantastic, dashboards and the likes. So, but you as a data analyst, okay, you are going to learn how to use these tools. Okay, you are going to learn how to use these tools to, create what you call automated reporting systems. Okay, you would create automated reporting systems. All right. So, and when usually recruiters will require that just one. If you know only Power BI, that's enough. But here at Naviant, we give you all the three so that they are attracted to you. Recruiters always want more from tech talent. So if you are bringing more to the table, you are likely to get a job. So let's go. Let's move on. Okay. And again, you can see that we added ChatGPT simply because we are now in the era of AI. So you cannot disregard AI in this journey of yours of getting into the tech world. So, and that's the reason why we added ChatGPT, to introduce you to things like prompt engineering and using ChatGPT for data analytics. Now, what's the job of a data scientist? I'd love to call the data scientists as the inventors. The inventors. So who is an inventor? They create stuff, right? They build stuff. Are we together? The inventors. You remember back in, I think, primary school or secondary school, there was this club called Jet Club. Okay, Jet Club. This is the club where, they build stuff, right? Or you call them the inventors. So such is the job of the data scientist. They build stuff. Okay. And why do I say they build stuff? Allow me to land. Okay. Don't judge me before I land. Okay. So I want you to type in the chat. We listen, but we don't judge. Okay, we listen, we don't judge. Type that in the chat while I explain. So now, the job of a data analyst hovers around the second two types of analytics that I have not talked about. Guys, I talked about descriptive and diagnostic analytics, and I said that's the job of what? The data analyst, right? But the predictive and prescriptive analytics is the job of the data scientist. So when people ask, oh, what's the difference between data analysis and data science? You're welcome. Now you know the difference, right? Now you know the difference. Are we together, guys? Now we know the difference. Predictive analytics simply hovers around what is likely going to happen in the future. So it means that your job as a data scientist is going into the organization and letting them know that, look, based on what has happened so far, this is what is likely going to happen in the future. But guess what? You may think that, oh, okay, is it that as a data scientist, I'm going to study the data and then, predict? You would actually build what we call machine learning algorithms to help you do the prediction. And your job, mainly as a data scientist, is to interpret the result of this prediction. Right? Now, your ability to interpret the results, okay, and to make changes where necessary as a data scientist is what sets you apart. You are not a coder. Okay. Yes, you write codes as a data scientist, but you are not a coder. The company did not employ you to write codes. They employed you to tell them this is what's likely going to happen in the future and how they should also reposition themselves to make an impact in that future. And that repositioning is what we call the prescriptive analytics. Am I making sense, guys? Type you are doing well if I'm making sense to you. Type you are doing well if I am making sense. Okay, type that in the chat so I know that I'm making real sense to you guys. Fantastic. So now for you to become successful as a data scientist, you need to know Excel. You need to know Excel. You need to know SQL. You need to know Python. You need to know GitHub. You need to know Tableau. And you need to know ChatGPT. And guess what? ChatGPT is fantastic, especially as a data scientist. Because in today's world, you no longer have to focus on, oh, how do I memorize a code? You don't need to memorize anything. Understanding it is okay. ChatGPT will help you write the codes. You focus on interpreting the results, which is your job and your focus, and the real reason why you are employed as a data scientist. Okay, so now let's move ahead. We still have one more to go. One more. Okay, we have one more to go. The business analysis. Again, I will take questions at the end of the session. And if you join me early enough, the question Baluke is asking, I've already answered that. Okay, descriptive analytics is telling a story around what happened. You describe something. Oh, what's the color of your house? Oh, it's green. It was already green before you said it's green, right? But prescriptive analytics is after you've made prediction, after you've seen what's likely going to happen in the future. Right? Oh, this person is likely going to paint their house green in the future. Is that what you want to happen? If that's yes, then allow it be. But if that's not what you want to happen, then what are the prescriptions that you need to make an impact on that eventuality? That's what prescriptive analytics is. So I hope I answered the question. All right, fantastic. The attendance form will be pasted in the chat box, so do well to fill it out. Click on the link. It's a link. Click on it. You fill the attendance form. So what's the job of a business analyst? Now, I love to call the business analyst as the translator, and you see the reason why. So I don't know if you've seen a movie where two very important kingpins who do not understand each other's language. Okay, they want to communicate. All right, and this happens in real life as well. Pretty much two individuals who do not understand each other's languages want to communicate with each other. They need a translator in between. So that translator is somebody that is trusted to deliver with clarity and transparency between those two parties to ensure that both parties are aligned. Am I right or wrong? That's the job of a translator, right? Now, if you agree with me, such is the job of a business analyst. Now, a business analyst goes into an organization and they want to ensure that whenever there is a goal to be achieved by an organization, you want to ensure that every single party that is interested in that project is aligned on that project. Let me give you an example. Say, for example, you work with Jumia. So Jumia hires you as a business analyst. And Jumia tells you that, look, it takes us, as of now, 10 days on average to deliver packages within Lagos whenever our customer orders. Now, Lagos is one of our cash cows. So we want to accelerate our delivery from 10 days on average to 7 days on average within the next 3 months. And you as a business analyst will be in charge of making that happen. Now, the very first thing, because you're not the one that is going to deliver the package. You aren't the one that's going to help customers place order. You aren't the one that is going to do some certain things that are being done in terms of operations. But what your job is as a business analyst is to ensure that anybody that is concerned with that goal that you want to achieve, which is reducing delivery time from 10 days to about 7 days within the next 3 months. Whoever is concerned, from the business owners to the customers to the supply chain that's the delivery team, your logistics team, to the pickup points, pickup stations, and the likes. Everybody is aligned. And look, this is what we want to achieve, and this is how you play a role in achieving that. So, as a business analyst, you want to ensure that there is openness, transparency, there is alignment, and there is process optimization, there is documentation, okay, there is tracking, all right, and all of these things are happening. Now, as a business analyst, okay, as a business analyst, right, you recruiters these days are also interested in you having a little bit of data skills. So beyond your core business analysis focus, you still need a little bit of data knowledge. Maybe not as deep as a data analyst, but decent enough that you can handle data to a reasonable extent. And because of that, we added Excel, SQL, and Power BI to our business analysis curriculum. Clap for Navient Analytics. We are up to date. Clap for Navient Analytics. Now, beyond just this, okay, you still go into the core business analysis framework, which you get to learn Miro, you get to learn Draw.io, use this for process optimization. You get to learn Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps is a cloud platform that helps you do pretty much everything you need to do as a business analyst, okay, from documentation to elicitation to tracking and all of that. And then Jira, you use that for managing your team, to manage your team. And there are so many other things that you need to learn to become a successful business analyst. Now, having said that, which of these three career paths do you want to go into? Do you want to become a data analyst or a data scientist or a business analyst? Do you want to become a storyteller or the inventor or the translator? Which one do you want to go into? Which one do you want to go into? Somebody said I want to become all three. All three are awesome. Please start with one, okay? Don't take all three at once, okay? Pick one. Pick one. Do you want to become a storyteller? Do you want to become an inventor or a translator? Let's know. Now, while you have made that decision, count it that you have made the first choice in the right direction. You have taken that first step in the right direction of 5xing your income. You have taken that first step. Now, what are the other things you need to do? So, for me to put this into perspective, with Naomi, Naomi was the person, if you joined this particular session early, you must have heard Naomi, speak, okay? You must have heard Naomi speak already. Naomi, let me just recap it for those of us who did not hear her. Naomi was, she works, she's a Nigerian working somewhere in France. So, and there was this wave of Anglophone versus Francophone where she was working. And even if she was a manager, she was being relegated because she is a Nigerian. Guess what happened? She joined our program, got into one of our courses, and she became skilled. And guess what? She utilized LinkedIn like her life depended on it. She followed our instruction to the letter. Naomi posted on LinkedIn to the point that her organization noticed her, and they did not wait for her. They created a new department and asked her to lead that department. In fact, when she asked that, look, am I going to get any form of training? They told her that training, we see what you do on LinkedIn. You will be the one to train people working under you in that department. She said, okay, I'll go and think about it. They said, no, don't think about it. Here's the offer, sign it, let's move you. So because they saw the value she was bringing on the table, they saw that this is a rejuvenated Naomi. This is a different Naomi. This is a valuable Naomi. How did that happen? Because she upskilled. Okay, and it is not only her. All right, these are two other lovely professionals. You have Esther and Mary. Now, Esther currently works as a monitoring and evaluation analyst with Power Nigeria, and she joined them as a data analyst after she joined our program. Okay, she joined our program. Oh, at some point she wanted to give up. That look, this is not for me. But because we know that as a beginner, this is not something far fetched for you to say, oh, look, it's too much. I want to. I mean, guys, there are training programs out there. Okay, when you join, you think you are learning something, but they are teaching you rubbish, for lack of a better word, rubbish. And the reason I call it rubbish is because you can't apply what you are being taught out there in the real world. Impossible. Okay, so why even invest your time? Your time is valuable. Let's leave money aside. Your time is valuable, so don't waste your time with such training programs. So Esther joined us and she saw this role, she applied and she got the job. Long story short, okay. And this was after we had encouraged her. Look, this thing is no more than you. This is what you need to do. And you can see that is her portfolio. So we walked her through also on how to design a project portfolio. LinkedIn is a go-to place. All right. So LinkedIn is a go-to place. If you utilize LinkedIn so well, guys, you would not need to apply to jobs. You will not apply to one job. The job will look for you because of the demand. Recruiters will enter into your DM. Oh, hello. Are you up for an interview? We're looking to hire a data analyst or a business analyst or this or that. Are you interested in working with us? And because you came in through that channel, mind you, quite a lot of other people would interview for that role, but because you did not apply, but the recruiter themselves reached out to you, you've already passed the first stage. It's just for you to appear and defend whatever it is that you have. And once you're able to do that, you get the job. You only need to meet their expectation and you get the job. All right. So I quickly want you to listen to Mary and Esther yourselves. Okay, let's listen to Mary first, and then you get to listen to Esther. Okay, then after that, I will then show you the extra layered support we gave them that made the difference. So here at Nebiat Analytics, it goes beyond just the technical aspect of the training. I talked about soft skill training. I talked about lifetime access. So how do we continuously help Nigerians? So it's not a case of you get into our program and then after the program, we wave you goodbye and that's all. We still work with you to ensure that you achieve that, that goal of yours. So I'm going to share my screen once again. I know you may be wondering, oh, my screen has stopped sharing. I did it on purpose, and I did it because I want to share my screen again so you can get to listen in on Naomi as well as Mary. Okay, sorry, Esther and Mary, not Naomi. Esther and Mary. Okay, I had already told Naomi's story. If you joined earlier, you would have heard when Naomi was speaking. So confirm that you can actually see my screen now. Okay. All right. So let's listen to them. All right. So in a little bit, we'll get to hear from them okay, and you see, you get to listen to their story. All right. Yeah. Hello, Mary. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight?
I'm also fine.
All right,
So,
fantastic.
yeah, about my experience. Last year I completed my national service. In Ghana. So the national service is like the NYSC period. And I knew where I was working, we wouldn't be picked after the service. So I decided to upskill because that was the only way that would help me stand out. So through the experience I got from Nivians, I got to hear of it from Instagram. Yes. So I've been following you from, it was from a finance guy on Instagram, Shay the assistant. So he posted something about remote work, and then I was reading through the comment sections, and then I saw someone recommend Nivians, and then I saw a um, text from them. Then I decided to text and then join the program. So I joined in December. And during the period, the courses were really well taught. And the tutors today were very, very experienced and humble and really, really knowledgeable. And they had time for it too. So if you couldn't understand something taught in class, you could ask and then they will take you through it very well. Aside from that, throughout the week, you can text them, they would help you out with your problems if you have issues. And at a point, sometimes it felt overwhelming. I felt like it was too much. So I did text one of the tutors, and then she gave me a heads up and was like, it's normal. It's a bit normal for you to feel that way. So she helped me out, and then I got back on track. So initially I was dealing with imposter syndrome too, because I felt I wasn't good enough to apply for jobs. So for a while I wasn't applying, but then in May, yeah, late April and then May, I decided that now I had to apply for jobs because I was just staying at home. So I started applying, and then the CV formats that we were given, I used that CV format, and then with the projects that I had built, I just used them and then started applying. And luckily for me, it's like most of the jobs that I applied with that CV format and my skills, I got an interview for them. The first one that I applied, which was Songo Academy, and I got an interview. I went, and then later on they called that I had been accepted, so I was supposed to start work. So I started work last week Monday, and if it was there that I realized that they said that for the role that they were
Sorry, Mary.
for.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Okay, I beg your pardon. So when did you say you started again? I want everybody to know when did you say this?
I started last week Monday.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so and so far, yeah, we've been working on data, huge data sets. We've been cleaning, and hopefully by next week we'll be done cleaning, then we'll start with the analysis. And it was there that I realized we were told that the number of people who applied for that position, it was a lot, like over 3,000.
Over 3,000.
Over 3,000 people. So it was at that point I was like, hey, I think it's the CV format that, like, I don't know, put me in or something, because for over 3,000 people, and then they just needed to.
How is it possible that it is you they picked, right?
Really? How? It was just two people that they needed to. So I was shocked, but I didn't let them know. And the other two interviews, whenever I go for it, they ask me if it's like they're fascinated about their skills, especially with the Excel and then Power BI. So mostly they will be asking, oh, how confident are you in Power BI? So I realized that Power BI is kind of like necessary in almost all the companies for reporting. So the moment they see that you have some skills in those tools, they are so keen to like have you, and then just to take you in for the job. So far I'm still like I've still been called for interviews, and I even have an upcoming interview to go for right now. But then I've accepted the other job. So yeah.
These jobs, yeah. Fantastic one, Mary. So, guys,
Just be confident, like be really, really confident. Even if you have no idea, any analyst position you see, apply.
that's one thing that you get, as a Nebiant community member. So, congratulations once again. I really appreciate you spending time with us this evening. Okay, so yeah, fantastic. You can. This is another interview. All right, not bad. So, do we have Esther now? Do we have Esther here now? So Esther can also come share her experience, and then we go on. Thank you very much for being here. Where's Esther? Okay, I've spotted you now. All right, fantastic. Go ahead, Esther. Yeah, hello. How you doing? Yeah, good evening. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Okay, so Esther, you're welcome to this session. What we want to hear from you is, how was the experience? How did you hear about us? How did Nebiant impact your journey? To where you are now. So just share with us the next couple of minutes.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I saw Nebiant Analytics. I think I saw their ad on Facebook. So there was a group. I think they were doing a free class or something, and I wasn't able to join the class. But then the day I joined, Mrs. Limwell was having like a talk on. She was explaining everything about data analysis, and the tech world. I just got interested. I'm like, okay, I've always wanted to get into tech. As okay, by the way, I didn't mention that I'm a healthcare professional, so I've always wanted to get into the tech space, but I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know, the right course to take, all of those things. So after the class that day, I decided, okay, let me just, data analysis sounded like something that I've liked. So I paid for the class and I joined. That was February. So while the class
February.
February.
Was it February this year or this year?
February this year, yeah.
Okay, all right,
So
fantastic.
unfortunately, I couldn't understand anything. It was just too much. A lot of words I've never heard before, so I got confused. I reached out to Joy, one of the our class coordinator, yes, and I was complaining. So I told her that I can't understand. I want to give up. I want to stop. I want to leave the class. I don't understand anything. There's so much for me, and she kept encouraging me. And she told me that I can't give up now. That I should just try my best. I should put in, even if it's 2 hours every day, I can do this. I can do this. So I started paying more attention to the classes. After the class, I think we just finished last month or so. After the class, and there was something she told me. She said that when I finish, I should just be telling everybody that I'm a data analyst. So
Exactly. You should claim it.
I kept telling everybody that I'm a data analyst. So I'm a data analyst. And anybody that I'm having a conversation with, I say I'm a data analyst. So as a health professional, I work in the NGO space. So, and what I do is M&E, that's monitoring and evaluation. So I saw a job role, and it was M&E analyst. I'm like, this is not what taught us in class. So
Exactly.
I applied, and fortunately for me, I got the job, and I was so excited. I was so happy. I want to say a very big thank you to Media Analytics and the tutors, oh my God, they're always there. Anytime you come back and say, I don't know what's going on, I can't understand, they always take the patience to explain to you, and bring you back on track. So, and then I advise everybody, just apply, especially if you had a background or something else. If you apply in that background, I think it's easy. I don't know. I'm just saying based on experience. So I feel like if you have a background on something, it's easier to just align what you have and put analysis. Because at the end of the day, data is everywhere, right?
Exactly. Data is everywhere. Healthcare, supply chain, wherever you are, data is there. Okay, fantastic. So guys, you have heard from the horse's mouth. You have heard from the horse's mouth. Okay, you've heard from them. Now, the next thing I would want to show you guys is how exactly, okay, do we actually help people, all right, beyond just the technical training. How exactly do we help people beyond the technical training? And this is something that stands us out from the crowd. Here at Nebient Analytics, we call it our Nebient Extra Layered Employability Support. And I want you guys to listen carefully. Now, our Nebient Analytics Extra Layered Career Support comprises of these juicy things you can see on the screen. You have weekly guidance and mentorship. You have CV assessment and job matching, because gone are the days where you use one CV to apply to all of the jobs you have out there. It doesn't work these days. If you want to attract the correct recruiters, you need to have a standout CV, whether you apply to the job or not, because whenever they reach out to you, they will still ask for your CV, okay? And you need to be able to job match that CV so that it matches the job you're applying to. You also have LinkedIn profile revamp. I don't think I need to overflog LinkedIn anymore. I've already mentioned how emphatic LinkedIn is on your journey. Upwork profile. Now on Upwork, majority of you may have an Upwork account already. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, if you have an Upwork account, you may have not gotten any job on Upwork so far. Why does this seem impossible? Now, the reason is you don't know that you don't need your CV on Upwork. Your CV is useless on Upwork. Upwork works with what you've been able to do, your portfolio. Okay, so we walk you through on how to optimize that. And this is where it gets interesting, guys. You have a lifetime interview preparation. So whenever you get an interview, so you heard when Mary mentioned that, oh, she had an interview. You heard when Esther also mentioned she had an interview. We prepared them ahead of the interview. And guess what? Even if their program has ended officially as of today, if they come back and say, oh, I have an interview, that's all they need to say. That's all they need to tell us. And we will prepare them for an interview again and again and again. And we won't get tired of that. It's a lifetime service. You also have a lifetime access to all your training materials. You also have a 1-month internship and a lifetime access to recommendation letters. And you also have a lifetime access to our alumni mentorship. We newly launched this. So you have all the reasons to get into tech now. So the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to take that big leap to get into tech? And speaking about recommendation letter, this is Helene Okai. She got an offer from a recruiter asking her to join them as a junior marketing analyst. But guess what? They requested for a recommendation letter. And I took the pleasure of preparing Helene Okai's recommendation letter for her. So if you want me to also prepare your own recommendation letter when the time comes, join Nebient Analytics and let's help you do that. And beyond all of these people I've talked about so far, there are so many other people we've helped. You have Oluwaseun Ojo, you have Lebura Olawale, you have Grace, okay, as well. So these are people we've been able to help using our formula and they've gotten jobs. So, and just to talk about the structure of the program, it's a 3-month program with a 1 month internship. It's 100% online, and we do it online for very simple reasons. You are getting prepared for remote work. We also get to reach Africans, regardless of where they are. And it also allows us to bring top experts from Africa to you to work with you. And we are not confined to a locality in terms of the level of professionals that we bring to you in class. Your classes are mainly on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. An instructor will be there just the way I am currently on the call with you, and walk you through step by step and ensure that you are, up to date. Okay. And then on Sundays, you get what we call on Sundays, you get what we call on Sundays, you get what we call DID videos. Now, the DID videos, look at them as preparatory videos. They prepare you ahead of your session on Saturdays, so that on Saturdays, you focus mainly on solving real-world problems. So Saturdays is not where you come and, we're teaching you theory. No, you work on real-world projects that serve as your portfolio. On Tuesdays and Thursdays during the week, you also have sessions, but these are not classes. On Tuesdays, you have a support session. Now, this is where you come if you need any support, maybe from previous lessons or the ones that you're currently looking at yourself. Your facilitator will be there. The same person that trained you on Saturday will be there to help you solve any problem so that you don't take it to the next week. And then on Thursdays, we focus on mentorship and soft skill training. So this is where we talk about negotiation skills. How do you negotiate a salary? How do you introduce yourself in an interview? How do you sell yourself in an interview? How do you answer tricky questions in your interview? Tricky questions like, can you tell me a time where you had an argument with your line manager? How did you resolve it? Okay. How do you answer such a question in an interview? So this is where we discuss those things, in the training program. Now, you have the brochure here. And again, like I said, fill out the attendance form if you haven't already, so that you can get these slides. When you get to this page, I want you to click on the brochure so you can see the full brochure for all 3 courses. All right. Now, guys, with all I have said so far, do you want me to talk about some more testimonials, of our students, or you want me to tell you about how you can get into our program July 5th? Our next class is starting July 5th. Okay, our next class is starting July the 5th. Okay, July 5th. You want me to tell you how you can get into that class starting July 5th? Because I have some juicy offers for you. Okay, let's talk about how to get into the program then. On the 5th of July, you can start this program. Okay, and I want you to listen very carefully. All right. Now, for those people that would make that decision that, look, I am going to do what it takes to get started by July 5th, the first 10 people to do that would get an exclusive employability training with me same time tomorrow. 8 p.m. tomorrow, you'll be in an exclusive session with me here 8 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday. Okay, so in that session, I'm going to give you a custom-made CV, the same CV we gave Mary. Okay, and I'm going to tell you how to job match using AI. How to use tailor that CV when you are applying to jobs. Okay, it will be an exclusive session, a 1-hour session. If you want to be part of that session, ensure you're among the first 10 to register. Now, for you to register to be a part of our program, July 5th, you must know that the price of the program is 250,000 naira. Now, you can decide to pay once, you can decide to split it into 2, or you can decide to take advantage of our 4 installment package. Now, our 4 installment package, this is how it happens. 30,000 naira for you to secure a seat. With 30,000 naira, you secure a seat. And by so doing, you gain access to my exclusive session tomorrow evening. Just by securing a seat with 30,000 naira tonight, you gain access to my exclusive session tomorrow evening. Now, with 50, after you do that, for you to start in July 5th, you then have now till July 5th to top up with 55,000 naira, and that makes it 85,000 naira in total for you to start in July. Okay, now 1 month into the program, you then top up with 85,000 naira, and that makes it a total of 170 that you've made payment of. And then the month after, you then top up with the final part of the payment, which is 80,000 naira. Okay, and that makes up the total of 250,000 naira. Okay, if somebody's saying, oh, 250,000 naira is too much, it depends. Do you see yourself worthy of such an investment? Okay, is 250,000 naira too much? Okay, to invest in yourself as a human being. All right, if that's the excuse you want to give, okay, and then 1 year down the line your financials still remain the same, then I'll accept that excuse. All right, but quit giving excuses. Take this step. The program is 250k. You have 4 installments. So what excuse do you want to give? You are a student. How did you pay your school fees up till this point? Okay, don't give that excuse. Are you with me? Now, you want to be part of the first 10 people. Send a direct transfer to us via our Sterling Bank account 0098999 with 30,000 naira. You secure a seat, be part of my exclusive session. Okay, if your parents paid for your school, let them pay for this as well. They would prefer the results you get from this would be better than 10 times what you did in school. I am a manifestation of that. Your own would not be different as well. So if your parents paid your school fees, tell them about this, let them get you registered, and let's get started. Kachi, you're already discussing with one of my team members, so just send them a message. They'll put you through on what to do next. Okay, once you've sent a direct transfer, all right, send us a receipt, send us the proof of payment via our WhatsApp line. So for those of you asking for what's my WhatsApp line, 0701 564 7028. 0701, let me type it in the chat for you, 0701 564 7028. Send us a proof of your payment and we'll work with you. Somebody's asking, and you can ask me questions now. You can raise up your hand. I would allow you to unmute to ask me questions, or you can just type it in the chat box and I'll answer. Somebody's saying, what about me that I've paid prior now? I thought June court starts today. If you've paid to start, David, you're not supposed to even be here. You're supposed to be in class. So send a message to my team member. You should be in class right now as we speak. All right, you should be in class right now, David. Who else is saying? What about the June cohorts? Benson, you should be in class right now. Okay, send the DM to my team member who you'll be speaking with. Okay, what if my parents don't believe me? Send their number to me, or send me their number. Okay, anyone. I would love to speak with them. Okay, so that they believe you. All right. Olatunde say, please, what's the specification of the laptop needed? Core i3 8GB RAM. You would enjoy yourself. During the training and even after you've gotten a job, you won't need to change your laptop. Okay. Yes, I was surprised. Yes, you shouldn't be here. You should be in class if you've already registered. All right. They are being onboarded as we speak. So, guys, who has a question? I'll take question for the next 10 minutes. By 9:30, I am shutting this down. Once you make payment, please send us a receipt of payment on our line 0701 564 7028. Core i3 and above. The truth is that even if it's lesser than Core i3, your laptop would work, but it may be a little bit slow and maybe frustrating. And that's why I'm saying Core i3. Now, you don't need a Core i9 or a Core i7 or the likes. A Core i3 would work perfectly fine and give you the best experience. So, Okonkwo, your hand is up. I believe you have a question for me. You can unmute your microphone and ask your question. Please only unmute if I call your name, please. So while Okonkwo is unmuting, somebody's asking, please, can I use other laptop for this training? Yes, you can. Please, can the installment process be longer than 4 times, please? Nicholas, secure your seat first and then send us a DM. Let's have a discussion on a specific installment process, process for you. David says, please, the payment procedure and amount should be sent to WhatsApp community. Please come on, my audio has been breaking. So, okay. So Eneze, please have that sent over to the WhatsApp community. Can I pay the first installment on Thursday? Mary, that will be too late. All you need to do first is you need to send us a DM, else this package will be off the table by Thursday. All right, Mary. Okay, so I presume, Mary, you want to be part of the first 10 people so that you can get my exclusive session tomorrow, right? If that's the case, then find a way to secure your spot tonight. Ruth is saying, is there age limit? No, there is no age limit. 17-year-olds are working remotely. 60-year-olds are working remotely. No age limit. Recruiters are, simply interested in doing in what you've done and not your age. Ngozi, you should be in class. Send a message to my team member who has been in discussion with you. You should have been added to your specific class WhatsApp group to join the June cohort. You should not be here. You should be in the onboarding happening right now, Ngozi. Chris says, how can I join the WhatsApp community? How did you join this session, Chris? Oluwatoyosi is saying, please, can I join when I make my first money? I will pay equal to 2. I don't understand that question, Oluwatoyosi. That's the payment plan in front of you. Julie explained. Secure your seat, and then before you start the class, you pay 55,000, making 85K for you to start the class. I am also interested and would love to pay 30K by Wednesday. Joy, that can only happen if and only if you send us a DM stating that. Okay, else it is off the table. Wednesday, I can assure you it's gonna be off the table. All right. Please, someone asked, must we have a laptop? Yes. I presume you're asking the same. You must have a laptop, okay? This is not a training program that you do something in the training and then you see something else when you start the job. The same thing you're doing in the training, you do it on the job. So you need a laptop, both in the training and on the job. I need more clarity on data analytics. Esther, it seems you joined late. But yeah, send us a DM, secure your seat, send us a DM. Let's have a chat with you. Okay, I'll be having a clarity session tomorrow, Esther, by 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. You can join that session so that you can ask a question. Okay, when is the class starting? For how long? Iwu, it's very obvious that you joined late as well. Class is starting 5th of July, and it is a 4-month program, 3 months of learning, 1 month of internship. Okay, fill out the attendance form so you get the recording so you can go over it again. Please, can I pay installments on Sunday? Sunday is too late, Kristen. Secure your seat now and let's get you started. Okay, if this is really what you want to do, Kristen, secure your seat. Let's get you started. Not too much talk. What number can I send a DM, please? 0701 564 7028. 0701 564 7028. All right. So send us a DM. Send us a DM. Let me send you the number in the chat. So that's the number posted in the chat box. So send us a DM and let us get you started. Okay, 0701 564 7028. WhatsApp DM and we're good to go. Okonkwo Daniel, your hand is still up. Please unmute and let's have a discussion.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Sulaiman. I don't know if you can hear.
Faintly,
Hello?
but yes,
Can you
I
hear?
can.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, is there nothing like a crash course for this? Like the offer is very good compared to the the benefits, because I know well about this. So basically talking from the standpoint of most of us need to fend for this by ourselves with other responsibilities. Is there nothing like a crash course or this July cohort? Is it the last of the year? Or is there any other provision so that we can make plans ahead? Like I said, the offer is very good. I actually got this, I got to hear about media analytics from the media presenter, Eric Gabwa. So being one of his followers and I trust his recommendations, I have to join the WhatsApp group. So what I'm saying for now, not being totally honest, is there a crash course that could be less capital intensive? I'm not saying that the cost is not worth it, but is there a crash course? Like, is there probably like something like a payment to go to PPF, or is there a plan for those of us that cannot move to July programs? So that's what I want
Right.
to know. Then you talked about LinkedIn. This is not the first time people are talking about consistent postings. Well, let's say you don't have can these postings be done on regular platforms, or must you pay for the premium? Then the Upwork and GitHub, how does it work for those of us that probably are still using the coding community and the rest? Like, how can you make a map navigate through this place? Like somebody like me now, I studied mathematics, I graduated from maths, and probably that's why I want to dive into analytics, because I think I'll have a better understanding of that. So I'm like, let's say for someone that doesn't have the money to pay for a premium package on LinkedIn, how do you navigate to get people to see you? Or is it a must you have to pay for the premium service before you get visibility? So I don't know if these questions can be tended to. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. I think you can mute your mic now so I can answer the question. Just before I answer your question, our phone line is 07, I'll type it again, 0701 564 7028. All right, send us a DM with a proof and let's get you started. Now to your question, Okonkwo Daniel. Is there a crash course? When next is the next cohort starting? Good for you. We have a course starting in August, September, October, November, and the likes. Now, you can actually secure your spot now and indicate you want to start in August or in September. We have that flexibility. Okay, and technically this gives you more time than usual to get yourself started if you really want to get started. Now, is there a crash course? Now, let me tell you something, Okonkwo. There are crash courses if you look left and right, there are crash courses, 3 weeks data analytics course, 1 month data analytics course. Anybody offering you a crash course, I will tell you categorically, is not ashamed to run after your money, and they would not give you anything of value. Okay, if you think the money, you are looking at the money, oh, the money is small. Okay, let me just take it. How about your time? Isn't your time valuable? So please, if you see any crash course, run away from it. There's no such thing as a crash course for getting into tech. Okay, a comprehensive course is what you want. And even the comprehensive course, you may be tricked to think that, oh, a 1 year course is what you need. That is BS. I hope you know the meaning of BS. Okay, I don't want to say it on this call, but that is a very nice BS. Okay, so you want to swerve away from such offers. All right, to get into tech, what you need is guidance and continuous support, which you get here at Nabians. Okay, now you need to pay for LinkedIn. When I was talking about LinkedIn, I did not mention that any of our students made payments on LinkedIn. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is to do things right. If you do things right, you'd get a job on LinkedIn in no time. All you need is my guidance. Our guidance here at Naviance Analytics is what these people do. Okay, and that's what they use to get into tech. Now, what's the substitute for LinkedIn? Pretty much any other platform where you can find recruiters. Okay, and I displayed some of them on my screen earlier if you were here in the session. How about Upwork? Talked about Upwork. Now, Upwork, like I said, is very easy if you have the correct information. Number one, you don't need your CV on Upwork. What you need is projects. You work on reward projects, showcase them there like a show, like you put them in a show glass, and watch recruiters even reach out to you without even you applying. Now, if you're going to be applying on Upwork, there is a strategy. Okay, most of you would go on Upwork and you apply to a job that was posted yesterday, and you think, oh, the job was posted just yesterday now, or just even 5 hours ago. That's still early. You're wasting time. Okay, there are proceedings, there are things to look at before you can apply on Upwork. And if you do it right, you will need to spend money buying connects on Upwork before you get a job. Now, the trick is all about information. Okay, and if you value information, you won't be looking for a free course or a 15,000 naira course that would give you the level of results we give you at Naviance Analytics. All right, so that is my response to you, Okonko Dani. I hope I answered your question. All right, I hope I answered your question. Right. While I am awaiting your response, I will just take some other, or let me take, Okonko Daniel, you can respond to me. Let me know. Okay, yeah, when
Thank you.
all answer.
Yes,
Thank you. Fantastic.
you answer very well. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. So please, I would rather you don't even register for it.
We can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you, sir.
All right, good evening, everyone. Not to worry, he will soon join us. He's having issues with this network, so he will join in soon. Okay, just give him about 2 minutes. Thank you. Gudo's Empire. So you said all the tools you flashed for the 3 branches of tech, will all of them be taught in class or some of them? If it's some, which of them will be taught? Thanks. So all of the tools that was mentioned will be taught in class, all of the tools. So which of the courses are you interested in? Gudo's Empire. Are you here? All right. So which of the courses are you interested in? So you can drop your question in the chat box. Drop your question in the chat box and to be answered.
All right. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. I want to believe you can hear me now. I want to believe you can hear me now. Okay, I want to believe you can hear me now. Brilliant. All right. So I was taking some questions. Let me go back to the questions. Let me see. Okay. So Ikechukwu, what was your question? What was your question? So I can respond. I already sent a message to the WhatsApp number. Please kindly reply. You will get a response, Mary. Okay, you'll get a response, Mary. All right. If you've sent a DM already, you will get a response after this session. Okay, you will get a response after this session. Okay. All right. So, would there be any other question before we call it a night tonight? Would there be another question? Ikechukwu, congratulations. You would likely be part of my exclusive session tomorrow night. Okay, so congratulations on that, on taking that bold step. All right, so I think if there is no other question, that will be all for now. Would there be any other question? Please, I'm so much lost. I don't understand what you mean. But if you mean you're lost, Max Classic Creations, it means you joined late. So you need to fill out the attendance form at least so you can get the recording and all of that. Pelumi, fantastic. Send us a DM. Let's walk you through all of that stuff. All right. All right. So for those of us who have secured their slot, congratulations. Well done. Let's brace up for a fantastic journey together here with us at Navient Analytics. Enjoy your night. Okay, enjoy this last part of the holidays so that when we get back to work tomorrow, we are rejuvenated and you are happy that you have taken a bold step to start a journey next month in changing your financials. Shidera, you have a question. Go ahead and type your question, please, or you can raise your hand. Okay. When is the next class after July? So, Nicholas, we have a class starting every month. But if you're waiting for July class, then be ready to pay 350,000 because that's going to be our new price heading into that particular month. Okay. So, in fact, you would not be seeing any for installment. So that's a given, Nicola. So make your decision now. Find a way and let's get you started. Chidera, I've still not seen your question. So I don't know, do you still want to ask a question? What's the situation? Do you want us to call it a night tonight? What's your question? Nicholas, can you DM me? Well, yes, you can. Okay, send a receipt of your payment, and let's get talking. All right, let's get talking. When is your next class? I really want to have the class. Our next class is actually technically our next class is starting in July. Okay, July 5th. That's the next class that is starting. Okay, so secure your spots, and you can see the installment plan. I explained it. 30,000 secures you a seat, 55,000 gets you started with the July cohort starting July 5th. That's the next class starting. 1 month into the program, 85,000. 2 months into the program, 80,000. And if you add up everything, it's going to equate 250K. Some people go ahead and pay 250K outrightly. That's fine. Some people say, oh, I have 125. Can I pay that now? That's fine. Okay. But the key thing, make your decision, start, and let's get you the results. Can I pay tomorrow or Wednesday? That's a little bit dicey. Okay. That's a little bit dicey. If you can pay tomorrow, find a way to pay today. Okay. Turn that tomorrow to today. All right, so you cut the long story short. Okay, make it today and then sort yourself out tomorrow. Okay, I'm sure you know what to do. All right, to make it happen today. Chidera, maybe I'll join next month, sir. If you're fine with 350K as your payment, Chidera, then that's fine. I'm fine with that too. Okay, for it to start next month. Okay, but guess what? You can secure your spot now with 30K and then indicate that you want to start next month. How cool is that, Chidera? How cool is that? I hope the recording for those yet to onboarded in June will be available. Samuel, yes, that would be available. Okay, but you should not be here. You should be in that onboarding session right now. Just paid. Anthony, congratulations. Chidera says, I don't have the money now, sir. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to say again, Chidera. But guess what? I don't want that to be your excuse for not changing your financial situation 3 months, 6 months, 1 year down the line. You don't want to tell people that, oh, the reason I did not take the opportunity was because I did not have money. That should not be your excuse. Okay? You can tell me that, oh, I don't like your company, or I don't like your offer, or, I don't like your face. I don't like your glasses or your face cap. But Chidera, don't tell me you don't have money. That's not an excuse. All right? Find the money, register, let's get you started. Okay? So, I think this is where we are going to draw the curtain. Okay? Again, our phone line is 0701 564 7028. Uj is saying, can I pay 20K now and pay 10K on Thursday? Uj, that is absolutely possible. All right, but the key thing is, once you do that, send us a DM 0701 564 7028. All right, ensure to send us a DM with a proof of payment so we can have it in our record. All right, please, will this opportunity come again? Well, Leonard, there is Esther rather. There is a reason you saw this opportunity today. Okay, they say opportunity comes but once. So if this is the only opportunity you have, Esther, would you be waiting for another opportunity? I guess not. So take the step now. Okay, the fund is not available now. Esther, just like I was telling Chidera, that should not be your excuse. The bone of contention now is, how can I make that fund available now? That's the question you should sit down and ask yourself. Are there ways that you can make the fund available now? If the answer is yes, then make it available. If it's no, then all I hear is excuses, okay? And I don't want that to be your own story, Esther. All right? There are people like yourself who went on. So the funds was not available. They still found a way to register. Grace did it. She has gotten a job already. All right. So that is the June batch is too late to join. If you want to join the June batch, they just got onboarded this evening. If you want me to onboard you tomorrow, Salome, all you need is 85,000 naira, and you can join the June cohort that just actually started. It's not too late to get into that cohort. All right. So 85,000 naira gets you into that particular class. Okay. Send us a DM. Let's get you started. Joe says, nice business strategy and persuaded him only I have the money. See it as you can call it anything you want, gift, call it business strategy, call it fantastic, call it whatever it is. But it will not make sense, gift, if you don't take this opportunity. It only makes sense if you get into the program, gift. All right. How long is the entire course? 4 months, 3 months of learning, 1 month of internship. So, guys, I think I've had a great run tonight. I hope to see you in class. Do well to get into the program, okay? And I'll see you on the other side. Have a wonderful night's rest, guys. Cheers.